Hello. Let me just move my microphone over. Right, yes, I seem to be live. Sorry if that seems a bit. Oh, where am I? Right, sorry, I've got two dogs, so they'll want to try periodically to join into the conversation. Right, so let me just go. So we'd start. If you look at another episode, the previous episode I've done, I've already started to look at the Starmer emails. I didn't look. I'm just looking at the time. I'll be about. I'm thinking about half an hour. I just started to poke really at the first two or three mentions of stuff. Now, some of them just mention Starmer in the wider perspective of their emails, but they don't say who they're from mostly. But you do get a look at who they're to most of the time, and also they, as I said, they mostly. Well, so far what I found is they mention Starmer, but not in a particularly. So far, not in a particularly flattering manner. I think one of the last ones that I read, if you go back to the previous show, or YouTube presentation, as I know some people like to call it, there was one saying that it was Tony Blair and Mandelson that was really running the show, and not Keir Starmer. So that was quite interesting. So I thought we'd just carry on. Again, look, there's, as you know, there's millions and millions of pages. There's millions of documents. It doesn't just have to. I thought obviously I'd start off with Starmer because that's an obvious one. But if you guys want to ask, give me names of who else you want me to search and talk, to read the emails out, which is literally what I'm doing. Then you also please do comment. Have a look at this person, have a look at that person, and we can have a look at them, and we can see what they say as well. So I'll also be driven by you as well, not just what I want to do. So anyway, let's carry on. So where are we? I think we are here. Right. So we're on mention number 4 of the first document. If you actually go to the site, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's several data sets, 6 or so data sets with the Keir Starmer name in there. Right, so we are on number. So let's start with number, because I've done 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hopefully you can still see me. Yep, I think you can. Now, okay, so we have this email number 4, right. Friday the 15th of December 2023. Again, it's redacted who wrote it, but it's to Rishi Sunak. This is an emergency, and if you do nothing, you will be held accountable for the slow mass slaughter and drowning of the Palestinian population. It has haunted me why the Netanyahu administration has been flooding the tunnels with seawater. This is being done not to destroy underground tunnel infrastructure, as sand or the equivalent would be poured into the tunnels or blown up with explosives to destroy tunnel network infrastructure. This is common sense, actually. The reason they are flooding the tunnels is to saturate the underground, so any rainfall will not be absorbed into the ground because the ground is already saturated with water. I am a gardener, and anyone who is a gardener will know this! Exclamation mark 4 times. The rainfall will have nowhere to be absorbed, thus causing heavy flooding, which the Netanyahu administration know because November, end of March, particularly January and February, is the heavy rain season and in freezing conditions. This is a mixture of normal writing, in bold underlined and in bold underlined capital letters. As most buildings have been decimated and underground saturated with the seawater pumped in there is nowhere for any rainfall to go. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Whoever's writing this is really perturbed. Put starvation and disease and freezing conditions on top of what do you think is going to happen, and you are all standing there blindly allowing people to starve and drown to death slowly, question mark. This is not self-defense. By the end of the rainy season, there will not be a Palestinian population, and there will be no land for a two-state solution. Are you not getting this? And then the person has put in 4 different attachments. But to be honest, the attachments look like they're just taken from the mainstream media. And he's read a few reports on the mainstream media, which, you know, if anybody trusts the mainstream media these days, is like, I don't give them much credit, quite frankly. So if he's just picking this up, all of this from the mainstream media, I'd say do better and be better. But it is now the 15th of December, and I'd like you and everyone to know that the Epstein victims and myself are still being held prisoner. So it is now the 15th of December, and I would like, and this is back in 2023, I would like you and everyone to know that the Epstein victims and myself are still being held prisoner. We have been told no information. We live off daily lies, cover-ups, gaslighting, and complete silence as to what our future holds and anything going on. Where are the other 200 Epstein victims? Where are they? This isn't some white collar crime. This is rape, sex trafficking, torture, etc. of hundreds. Why are you not doing anything? Rishi, I want an explanation as to why the UK government also erased my medical files on what would prove Adam's active role in driving me to suicide and his involvement with Epstein in 2008. I don't know who Adam is. I would also like an explanation as to why, oh no, it's a company. I would also like an explanation as to why all of Adam's JP Morgan's emails have been erased off their servers, and I'm presuming Citibank emails were erased too. I would also like you to explain your relationship with Rupert and Lachlan Murdoch as you met with them a few months ago. Please take a look at the attachment. They have directly caused me harm many times. For example, the New York Post and redacted Callahan aiding Jeffrey Epstein, by which Epstein found me in Barcelona and had to go into hiding for 2 years, which inevitably led to another suicide attempt during my unrelenting lawsuit against Epstein and Co., trying to lock me into a contract with Viacom, etc. Have you explained your Californian ties or Murdoch's meeting with King Charles and the Princess of Wales? It is Rupert and Lachlan Publishing House, after all, that orchestrated the release of nonsense racist claims with a premeditated agenda of causing them harm and others in the Netherlands and myself through my own personal experience with them. Can David Cameron please also be transparent with where and how he makes his money and if there are any conflicts of interest? And there he's got another, The Guardian, this is .com. It's another mainstream media link to another mainstream media article. So again, mainstream media. Sorry, but I just don't give mainstream media any credibility at all. That's just my opinion. That's all it is, my opinion, nothing else. I have to say I'm very, very concerned about the UK and the nonsense lies being covered up by the government, because the people who vote deserve to know who they are voting for and why, you are lying to the very British population who have the full right to live in democracy to know who they are voting for. Are you going to rob them of that freedom too? That is not a democracy. So I have to say I'm very, very concerned about the UK and the nonsense lies being covered up by the government, because the people who vote deserve to know who they are voting for and why. There you go. The Labour voters also need to know that it is only Blair and Peter Mandelson calling the shots. It is only Tony Blair and Peter Mandelson calling the shots, not Keir Starmer. Tony Blair and Peter Mandelson were involved with Epstein, and just because Epstein's gone, do you think they stopped whatever they were doing? You're not that naive, Rishi. Will Tony Blair and Peter Mandelson finally be investigated for aiding and abetting Epstein's sex trafficking ring? Can you please let us know when the Epstein victims and I will be set free? These are not difficult questions. Regards. Okay, so what we have here is Tony Blair still runs the government, Peter Mandelson still runs the government, Tony Blair never went away. Well, what a surprise. Because the way Tony Blair basically in his time in office set up procedures within our establishments, what he did was set it up in such a way that whenever he left, whoever came in now, because it's quangos and establishments running the government, that it doesn't matter at the moment with the way the laws he's done and how he's done it are in. It really doesn't matter what government you have in. The system, the process continues to work in the way in which it works, regardless of who we vote in. And that is why you don't see things change. And that is why it's seemingly Tory, Labour, you don't get any change, because Tony Blair deliberately designed the system. So basically, when he left, it kept running the way he wanted it to run. So basically, we've never not had a Blair government, in essence. We've just had different names there, but it's always been a Blair government. And for some reason, the Tories have always been quite happy to go along with that. They know they know how it works. They know that they've just been the gatekeepers, the foot soldiers for the way Blair set the government up. And it just runs absentee. It runs for Blair, absentee of Blair. So there you go. Right. So that's that little email. Let's go on to the next one. So, just looking at the time here. So we're on number 5. Oh, so on Tuesday, the 12th of December. This is again, I think, the same. Person. Sorry, I'm just checking. So again, it's to Rishi Sunak. I want an explanation from your government and the Labour government, notably Tony Blair, Gordon Brown, Boris Johnson, Keir Starmer, Peter Mandelson and David Miliband, who will all be investigated for their role in aiding and abetting Epstein's trafficking ring. Remember, you are not above the law. The only reason you are where you are is because the general public votes for you to be there. Just like if everyone had to boycott Google, Disney, HBO, Meta, Viacom, HarperCollins, etc. for aiding and abetting sex trafficking ring for decades and for abusing, my cursor went a little bit too far, and abusing a rape sex trafficking victim to continue trafficking young women and children. We all saw what happened to Bud Light beer, so perhaps the abuse needs to stop because it will eventually come out globally. It's just a matter of time. ... The public must know what is going on. And remember, this is 2023. right at the end, actually. So right in December going into 2024. You see, it was Jean-Luc Brunel who gave me a disc of many photos containing Peter Mandelson's picture. That was my photo with Peter Mandelson and Jeffrey, published with the two of them together. Ask the Daily Mail. I'm the one that sold it to them, which Dawn Schneider organised. I want to know why the hospital medical records of my suicide attempt on the 16th of August 2008, which was the result of Adam and Epstein and co. So Adam is something to do with JP Morgan. Adam JP Morgan have been deleted from the NHS servers. What? I want to know why the hospital medical records of my suicide attempt on the 16th of August 2008 have been deleted from my NHS servers. I have been asking since April the 23rd, 2023, and have been repeatedly told there are no records. Daft, don't you think, when I have photos my father took with me in my coma in 2008, hanging on to life by a golden thread, which will be dated and on his system? Why would you delete them if you're not protecting Adam Epstein and co? You also have 5 family members who can testify that were actually at my hospital bed saying goodbye to me. And then he keeps on about these tragic suicide attempt. So why have my hospital records been deleted? Which, if I had, could have charged Adam for attempted murder, because that's precisely what it is, as Adam was sent over to keep me silent and occupied whilst Epstein's sweetheart deal was being arranged in 2007 and 2008. Wouldn't the British I think Foreign Office, I think he's put forgiven, I think they mean Foreign Office, have issued, here we go, we know, yeah, okay, this is Adam Castellani. I'll have to look up. So Castellani is CAST for Tango, E for Echo, L for Lima, A for Apple, M for November, I for India. Adam Castellini, a working visa to work at Citibank in London. David Miliband, did you approve Adam's visa? I know he didn't or doesn't have a British passport. Who approved Adam's working visa? I am going to have to look up who Adam Castellani is after this. Or we could just quickly do it now, couldn't we? Let's have a look. Adam Castellani. How do we spell that again? CASE. Oh. So CASELRA. Oh, okay. Okay. Mentioned. Vice President of Media Relations at JP Morgan. Okay. And if we just go to a link here, what is going on with this? I was searching for world leaders to see if I found that I managed to blah, blah, blah. Okay. Okay. The emails contain many words addressed to a lot of important people, and the victim seems to be claiming to be under threat of the UK, JP Morgan and Biden ? Apparently the victim wants to sue for discrimination. Okay, so anyway, yeah. So, Vice President of Media Relations at JP Morgan. Though I've just I've just found another rabbit hole to go down. Okay, I'll have to go down that. Okay. I need to dig into that, what I've just found there, but I won't do it right now. Okay. Let's have another look at this. Are you covering up? Are you covering up rape, sex trafficking, and attempted murder and protecting Adam? He isn't even a British citizen. I was. Oh, poo. Just lost my place. I would also like to ask why my security system from Jasmine Cottage. Okay, here's a bit of a hint. I would also like to ask why my security system from Jasmine Cottage, Croft-on-Tees, has been breached, which too will be looked into, especially as I too have clear evidence that my security system has been breached and know that the company has 2 years worth of surveillance of me at home at Jasmine, including audio. Can you please answer me, or at least answer the media when they ask you these questions today or hopefully soon? Regards, redacted. So again, with this particular PDF, and this PDF is like, you're looking over 50 pages, well over. So each PDF that mentions Starmer, there's like 6 or 7 of them. And if you think each PDF may contain 100 pages, that's kind of where we are. Okay. So the last mention of this. Okay. Because I've got it to jump to where it mentions, but I need to go back to the start of where the email is. Oh God, these are a lot of names. Woo-wee, a lot of names. Buckle up. Okay. I'm just trying to work out where it oh, it starts here. Ooh. Please don't delete any emails, WhatsApp messages, or any messages, because it will come out seeming as if this is against the FBI and US government for abiding and abetting a sex trafficking ring, as I will go as far to say now treason. I, for one, would like to know what happened when Redacted went to the FBI in Sydney before the photo came out. I wonder whether that's Virginia. The royal family should investigate you too, as they made you and your friends incredibly wealthy over the years. They should find out just how much you have made off them. The royal family should investigate you too. Crikey, I wonder who this was to. And it will be duly noted how long you punish me for exposing you before I get compensated from JP Morgan. Let's see how much longer you will punish me, just like Epstein used to do. You are the Epstein Empire. So I'm just going to have so what page are we on now? We're on 50. So let's just see who this was. Ooh, this was to Jonathan Harmsworth. I think he's a royal aide, and that's what whoever's saying this is saying. You have made off the royal family too. Over the years, how many millions, billions have you made plugging the Prince Andrew story? I even made complaints directly to the Daily Mail. Okay, so this must be Daily Mail. Jonathan Harmsworth. Okay. So let's get, sorry, slight detour there. You can't help it. I'm skipping to the bits, the emails that are like, mention Starmer, but you see other bits and you go, what? Okay, so on Saturday the 9th of December 2023 at 10 to 9, so somebody at 10 to 9 on a Saturday evening decided they needed to get it off their chest, basically. Michelle Burford, so redacted to redacted, wrote Michelle Burford, Oprah Winfrey, Gayle King, Melinda Gates and Bryn Friedman. Don't worry, it's a long email, but it does culminate in Starmer being brought up in the UK. I mean, I'll tell you something, the UK, we are all over this. We really are. Our establishment is... we are all over this because I keep seeing emails. I've seen emails from all, not just the UK, obviously, from across the pond and other areas, and they all go blah, blah, blah. And in the UK, they all knew about it. And it's always Mandelson, Tony Blair, Keir Starmer, the royal family. I mean, this goes to show, I'm sorry, but this goes to show how long we've actually had a Blair government for. If you think Blair government finished when, if you like, Brown was booted out, forget it. We've always had a Blair government. Just in case you accuse me of being racist and BLM my ass, because that's what all Epstein accomplices do to deviate from your heinous, despicable crimes, label false narratives on victims, you are joining the long list of witnesses below that I will be 100% adding my personal witness list, seeming as if I am still one of the lead plaintiffs in the current claim filed against the FBI and the US government, to which we are still awaiting a response. I'm just trying to think. We're just beginning of 2025. So this was still when Biden was in, okay? Because beginning of 2025 was when Trump was inaugurated, and this is 2023. This is 100% still when Biden. So in the current claim filed against the FBI and US government, that was the Biden government. A class action against the USVI was also filed on the 22nd of November against the USVI on behalf of all victims trafficked for decades to Little St. James, Epstein Island, which will include myself too. And again, okay, finally we have a link to something which isn't just mainstream media. We have a link to something which looks like, it's somebody's done a bit of a deeper dig. Sorry, my throat. So, Michelle Burford, I would like you to explain yourself now to me, in capital letters, and everyone in this email, including the British government. You're very close with some, they go, you see, including the British government. We are always in this. We are always in this. The royal we, of course. You are very close with some very interesting characters, and I believe you are more invested in this Epstein scandal than I would like to imagine. What have you done to me? What you've done to me has no words to describe it. Your friendship with Oprah and Gayle King should ring fire bells to all, and the friends I do not yet know about terrify me. You are the one who introduced me to Steve Ross as my agent, who has made my life a living hell. So Steve Ross was the agent. Again, something I'm going to have to look up. Feel free to Google the name Steve Ross, ROSS. Who has made my life a living hell, and he will be thoroughly investigated. You're also a devoted Harvard girl, as we went to the Harvard Club together for lunch, as you are a member there. The hotel booked for me by HarperCollins was the Royalton Hotel, 44th Street, New York, which just happened to be a few doors down from the Harvard Club, where most mentioned below. Let me just scroll down a bit because I'm... Oh, poo. Where most mentioned below frequently visit for secret little meetings like David Boys, Stan, etc. How convenient my staying at the Royalton was for all mentioned. You see, Michelle... This is who he's writing to. Michelle Obama? Michelle Obama? I have no idea. I don't know. People don't know I met you like you met Oprah Winfrey just the same way. You even went to the liberty of putting it on your website. Ah, no. Here we go. Michelle Burford. I'm going to have to look up who Michelle Burford is. Let me just do a quick digress here. Michelle Burford. Michelle Burford. They're saying she's an author. Number one, Michelle Burford, number one New York Times best-selling author and founding editor of the Oprah magazine. Okay. Yeah, all right. Number two, then the email carries on because this person is bullet pointed. Now they're on number two. And it goes, redacted, you get a job with Oprah. Now, I'm assuming, because it looks like a short word, so how you get a job with Oprah, question mark. I don't know why they'd redact the how, though. Anyway, it's redacted. I spotted a New York Times piece about Oprah was launching a magazine. Oh, this is how did... Okay, so this is a interview with Michelle Burford, how she got... I'm assuming... which... Okay. All right, I'm not interested in talking about Oprah Winfrey at all. This person has really does not like Oprah and does not like Michelle. You were going to write my memoir. You just liked making me beg you to write it for me. You started then playing your power trip games and abuse you so love. I called you and left a message for you, and you called right back not long after the first time I called. Again, I want the $500,000 back you took from me because you're not worthy. You're not worthy of my life story. I'm just wondering. I constantly had to fight with you about writing about Prince Andrew because I don't believe it, considering my own personal experience with the same people repeatedly. She too threw me under the bus many times, silencing me and other victims. I have heard about this, that this Michelle, I've heard a journalist, but it could be this Michelle woman. Have you heard the terms catch and kill? So, you catch the story and then the person that you're buying it off signs an NDA and an exclusive agreement and says, I won't talk to any other newspaper, I won't talk to any of the media basically about this. You've got it exclusively, it's all yours. And they go, great, and you signed up, they've got their money, and then the person that they've sold it to, now they've got your NDA, an exclusive, and they've got all the rights basically of the story. They never publish it. So it kills the story, and you have just taken a wad of cash and you have signed illegal documents saying you can't take it anywhere else. So, that's catch and kill. Here. I just want to get to the part where they mention Starmer there. So this book thing goes on for a while. I'm just wondering whether this is Virginia Guthrie. So my own witnesses including you, Michelle Burford, Oprah Winfrey, Gayle King, Melinda Gates, and Bryn Friedman. And then she goes on to... Okay, so then there's this big list of names. Joe Biden's in there, Castellini's in there, Adam Castellini again. I'm just looking... Ed Barak, Dennis George, Al Gore, Bill Gates, Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, Ghislaine Maxwell, Meghan Markle's in there as well. Hillary Clinton, Meghan Markle's, David Bowes, Bill Clinton, Harvey Weinstein, Hunter Biden, seeming as Hunter Biden was a paid employee of Boys Schiller Flexner. Okay, so these are, as we already know, they're all in there. And I had heard that Meghan Markle also was in the files, although the mainstream media is doing their best not to talk about it at all. So... keeping going down, it's still talking about John's... Okay, we've got a mention of... Lucia Osborne. Not only does she have redacted evidence, but she also wrote that jurors' story that was almost set Ghislaine Maxwell free. And if I find out she's gone anywhere near my family in South Africa, or past acquaintances or friends ever mentioned to her or in my book, there will be trouble, seeming as if she has already been in my home, and will be arrested reported for harassment. And then it's got Scotty David / Juror 50. Then underneath that, Lady Victoria Hervey, Harriet Lucia's cousin, John redacted husband, redacted mother, redacted old attorney, John's sister, redacted, and all the FBI agents involved in both investigation that abused, redacted. Yes, how redacted was treated will all come out, including why redacted. Your father, James, ruled that Hillary deleting 30,000 private mails, etc. was a mistake. This seems to be about Virginia Guthrie. Okay, and I just want to get to the Starmer bit, otherwise everybody's going to lose interest. Okay, yeah, so it goes on with a list of names. Some redacted, whom Lucia also has the telephone number of. So again, she will, if she has interfered anymore in my life, there will be even more trouble, and whom is a witness to everything. And then it goes Lisa, redacted, Netflix, Kathy, Mac, Andrew Linehan, Jenny Lynham. It is Andrew Lynham, Jenny Lynham, Anne McPherson, Peter Mandelson, Tony Blair, Keir Starmer. Okay, so the next time you hear Keir Starmer talking about just from what I've been reading in, I don't know, half an hour, 40 minutes or so, Peter Mandelson, Tony Blair, Keir Starmer, always they are all together. Next time you hear Keir Starmer going, I knew nothing, I just, I was kind of dragged, you know what I mean? I knew nothing, basically. I didn't realise everybody lied to me. Oh, my God. Then he's lying. What a shock. Keir Starmer lies. Oh, my good grief. So, as my attorney James Marsh is back next week, we'll all be submitting all my evidence. So, there's one again. So, right. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm really starting to get a better overall picture of, God, it's always got to be Labour as well, hasn't it? Well, I mean, I know it's not all Labour, but you know what I mean. Filthy beggars. Again, this is another one. James, as you and I know... Oh. Yeah. Okay, so that's that document. So let's just get rid of that so I don't confuse myself. So we've got this now. So that's the first one. Okay. So this is the second PDF. Ooh. They're not attractively presented. They're not attractively presented at all. Right. Okay, so there's only one mention in this one. Let's see if I can... Ooh, there's a lot of redacting. So, from is redacted and to looks like it's got to be 200. It could be 150, 200 people, all redacted. Subject, external email, SOS, mum, emergency, Keir Starmer, mum's house, redacted. Attention Putin and number 10 Hunger Games, UN new headquarters attention, SOS emergency, wine tasting and lunch booking the 7th of January. This is on Monday the 6th of January. Well, you can't have a good crisis without a glass of wine, obviously. A lot of this has been messed up, so I'm going to do my best. Keir Starmer and Rishi, how dare you intimidate? Redacted. You took her cat this afternoon. Back off and leave my family alone. Why won't anyone help? Do I need to dress like an effing squirrel? Please someone, anybody help. This is going to be added to the lawsuit against the British government. I want my redacted back, and you are making everything possible to make life difficult for my family. Cut it out now. You will not make redacted homeless, and nor will you keep me from redacted and Cyril. You will not keep me from redacted. Keir, then it says Keir. Why is the British government getting involved with the purchase of my house? And then it goes to, seems to carry on Monday. Ooh. On Monday, January the 2025. On Monday, January the 6th, 2025. At 4:15 p.m. Then it's all redacted. And then Cyril, you effing snake. I knew it when it took ages to get redacted. I want my redacted. And yes, it was you who redacted. I was wondering why setting the spelling's not great. I don't know whether these are text. I think these are text messages that have been downloaded. So I think this is somebody texting. I don't think this is an email. I was wondering why setting something to Table Mountain was never investigated. Please don't the R word, grape, and schmurder my family. You effing barbarian, and you spend billions supporting the Palestinians, yet you make a deal with the devil against your own. F you and your crew. And that seems to be the only one. If I find one, even one conversation has been had about me without my knowledge or without an attorney, and destinations have been made on my behalf with and decisions. Sorry, this person hasn't typed it very well. And decisions have been made on my behalf without my knowledge or an attorney present. I will sue each one of you. Okay, so that's the second PDF. Right, okay, let me just go back to this. Right, so there's another 5 or 6 PDFs to go through with Starmer being mentioned. And then once I've done that, I'll go on. But I'd really like to know, who do you want me to search on? Who would you be interested to see email? I mean, we've got the usual suspect, Gordon Brown, Peter Mandelson, all of that crew. But I've heard, there could be some other really interesting names that we're not thinking about. Morgan McSweeney is one I'm definitely going to be searching for, to see whether that little ginger toe rag is in there. But anyway, there you go. So please like and comment, and thanks for hopefully watching. And I'm going to, by the way, I'm also reading the Anne Rule book, The Stranger Beside Me, which is a fantastic book about the woman who for 10 years knew Ted Bundy as a friend, and as a real good friend. So the book is amazing. Apparently it's meant to be a bit of a life changer. I've done about 3 readings so far. I'm going to do another one now. So please go and take a look at that. And thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day or evening, whatever time you're watching this. And take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.